Toyota.
Oh boy. All right, here we go. Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the last great Colosseum here in Bristol, Tennessee. It's the Blazing Pedals TRJ Karting.com K&N series, bringing it live right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. My name is Chris. With me, as always, my good friend Rick. Rick, how are you tonight, bud?
I'm doing fabulous, brother. Happy Sunday.
Oh, man, happy Sunday to you. I've been looking forward to this one for a little while, not gonna lie. But I've been watching some practice here, Rick, and, well, Bristol is definitely being Bristol on these guys so far. I've heard some talk in there about having to learn how to drive in packs and there's some spins, and, well, hopefully this all translates into some sort of decent racing here tonight from Bristol. We do have a long one going on here tonight. Let's go ahead and take up a look at what we've got going on tonight. Stage racing. First stage going to end at the end of lap number 75. Stage number 2 going to end at the end of lap number 150. That's going to bring us home to lap 300. And at 15 seconds a click, it's going to happen pretty quick here.
Oh, you know, it definitely is, Chris. I mean, you know as well as I do, I love Bristol, man. This one's been marked and circled on the calendar there as soon as we saw the schedule. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, definitely getting ready to go. Eminem's out there checking us out. Thank you very much for coming on by. And, well, let's get right to it, Rick. We got to get Terry up here and see who he's going to be talking to tonight as we look around this beautiful little track. Man, I love this thing. It makes me excited to be here tonight. And Rick had a internet connection. So let's, I'll grab Terry and get him on up here.
Get around him.
Terry Foster, this is Chris up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I have you guys.
Well, Rick was here, but then he left, so I don't know, internet connection issue.
What?
You know, he had a little bit of an internet connection issue, I think. So he'll be back, I'm sure. But
We had a couple guys in there with that tonight too.
Yeah, it's common, I think. Well, it's just going to be you and I, but who are we going to talk to tonight, bud?
Marquise Mr. Smith.
Marquise Smith out of MT2. It is the driver of the number 21. Terry, you've got him.
Hey, Marquise, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, man. Hey, first and foremost, I want to say, hey, welcome back. What a hell of a track to make your debut back at, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad I took a couple weeks back and just kind of refocused, and I feel like I should be in a pretty decent mindset for this, as crazy as that may sound.
Well, that's kind of why I wanted you tonight, and me and Mark talked about it also, about bringing you in. If you don't mind, go over. I mean, you've had just crappy luck this season, man. Walk us through some of this stuff.
Well, I mean, I just seemed like a bad luck magnet to start. Just Phoenix, we all know how that went. I got pretty banged up, ping-ponged around a bit. And then just Daytona, I'm not really a good plate racer, and just bad luck there as well. But I felt really confident after Auto Club. You know, I had a pretty good run, stayed out of a lot of trouble. And then came back to Homestead, and I was just making mental mistakes. I screwed up on pit road multiple times, and I was just in such a bad mood. I called it enough and decided I needed a little break there.
Well, I mean, the first part of the season, man, I seen your name up front constantly. Then by mid-race, you just fell off your pace. Again, you lost your concentration or just got pissed or whatever. I don't know, but I'm glad you're back. I mean, I, for one, have missed you. I mean, I like joking around with you. We have fun together, I think, and I really enjoy racing with you. So, here out, what's Marquise looking at for the rest of the season?
Consistency, mostly. Mark's a really good guy, and he's been trying to kind of coach me and get some sense in my head that speed doesn't always matter. Consistency is. We ran a league together last night. I had a car that was maybe top 10 speed at best, and just being consistent and staying out of trouble, I finished third. So there's definitely some truth there.
Well, and my big thing is every one of us has a place, and Mark's told me this, we all have a place on this track. You being first or being 10th, me being 10th through the 20th, I know where my spot is. I'm not going to try to push the issue. I think it's a lot of our problem in this. That's one reason I think we're having all these cautions we've been having. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you. I don't feel like anyone should have any reason to think they're less talented than anyone else around them in the field, but there's a point where you have to learn your limitations and drive within your limitations, and if you think something's a little sketchy and it's lap 50 of 250, maybe you should think about just letting it ride out.
Right.
You're faster than them and you're catching them. There's no reason to force the issue and just cause issues and yellow. I know Chris and Rick get tired of it. Mark and Sam, they've had some interesting takes on that. So.
Well, any plans for tonight? Just hanging around and driving, try to stay out of trouble, or what? That's what I'm going to do. Drive around, just stay out of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of keep myself out of trouble as much as I can. Obviously, things happen at Bristol, and things happen very fast. So, my mentality on this is, if you come to Bristol with no real super high expectations and you need to run up front all the time, you need to finish well, then you can't really be disappointed when Bristol happens. So
I'm with you, man. So I see they're out there doing a pit party without me anyway. I don't know if you're out there or not, but hey, thanks for getting in here again. Thanks for coming back, man. I'm glad you're here. We need you here, man. You're fun to race with, and good luck tonight, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. I love being around you guys. It's a good group I found, and yeah.
Just,
Chris, Rick, you guys anything?
Words of wisdom here, guys. Any finish at Bristol is a good finish. It doesn't matter.
As long as all four tires are still on the ground.
If you can manage that, yeah, absolutely, that would be great. But if you got to come across the start finish line on the hood, that's cool too. I don't care. Just get it done. Absolutely. Well, Marquise and Terry, I want to thank you both for coming on up here for the little walk that Terry loves to do so much, and we love it too. Guys, good luck in that race tonight.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
That's Marquise Smith and Terry Foster, and just taking that little walk, man. It's pretty cool. We've got Rick back. Rick, how are you again, bud?
I'm doing good, buddy. I don't know what happened there. My TeamSpeak just kind of crapped the bed.
Yeah, it happens. Don't worry about it. About 7 minutes to go before we get to qualifying. Let's talk real quick about this track, because it's probably one of the more famous tracks in racing right now, but it is a tough track. And if you need proof, just go back a couple of weeks and see the guys that run real NASCAR running in iRacing and see the problems that they had.
Yeah, exactly, Chris. I mean, and I expect to see some of those here tonight. I mean, I think these guys, they've had a really good start to the season, then they kind of fell off a little bit, but I think they're ready. I mean, Bristol, it's going to be hard. I mean, it's a short track. We're going to see tempers flare, and these guys are going to be door to door. They're going to be having fun, and there's going to be some beating and banging, you know that. But like you said, even the real NASCAR boys, they have a hard time in real life and in sim here at Bristol.
Well, as far as the track itself goes tonight, it's not too terrible. It is a half-a-mile track, 4 turns, of course. Track temperature right now, about 96 degrees. Air temperature, a little less than that, 80 degrees right now. Wind speed, about 2, maybe 3 miles an hour out of the northwest. Not bad. Definitely should be decent enough. The track temperature, it's probably going to be okay. Maybe a little slippery out there, but, this track by its nature is a little slippery.
It is. I mean, we don't have the option to put the PJ1 down on the track, so these guys are just going to have to figure it out. But that's one thing I love about Bristol, man. The high banks, the last great Colosseum, man, it's fun. This is definitely a track that is on my bucket list to go see in real life. Right now during practice, you're looking at the stands, Chris. Kind of looks like the normal Bristol day race. I know it's just practice. The crowd will fill in here as the race, gets getting closer to green. But right now, I mean, it's just a heck of a track, man. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
New rule being put in place tonight by Mark Arthur: 5 cautions, excluding the stage cautions. If we see 5 yellows, they will restart single file, and this is a tough track to do that, especially with the size field we've got here tonight, Rick.
Yeah, that's going to be huge, Chris. I mean, I'm looking, we got what, 33 cars out there right now practicing. I mean, that's huge. So, I mean, they're going to be nose to tail. Hopefully, we don't get to that point, though. I mean, that's something that these guys got to figure out. It's a long race, as you said earlier. So, these guys got to just stay patient, make their moves, get their, positions. It's very easy to pass here at Bristol, and these guys are going to have fun. But, you don't need to be balling and jamming within the first, especially the first couple stages. You just let those go by. Try to get your stage wins if you're in that position, but if not, just kind of ride around, save your equipment, and go out there and have fun.
Yeah, but all that being said, there will be some beating and banging by the very nature of this track. It's a short track tempers. Definitely one of those things that we expect to see here at Bristol, and I'm sure we're going to see that, Rick. It's just a matter of how soon into the race are we going to see it. Let's go into... Well, let's take a peek at the points here before we get too deep into this. Okay, so that's not working.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Lord. Stand by. All right, there we go. Let's take a look at those points. Jamie Walker up front, Dalton Kilrow, Derek Paulson. Your top three, Corey Sherman, who's had a really fantastic season so far, sitting in fourth spot. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin has been moving up through the ranks. Ryan Wash sitting there in sixth spot. Adrian Pedra in seventh. Brad Collins, Brian Dees, and Ian Habiak, your top 10. Then it's Jeff Hartline, Jeff Price, Blake Decker, Hank Caston, David Bennett, and Jason Powell. You see that little cutoff line there? That's because there is going to be a chase type ending to the series. Ty Morosco just outside of that. Brian McRae, Rick Thompson, Nick Okie, and the rest. So it's going to be a battle all season long. It really is.
Oh, it definitely is, Chris. And one cool thing, I mean, here we are. This is race number 9 of the season now. Of course, we're following the real NASCAR schedule, so we got a long way to go. But only 3 drivers so far locked into the chase with wins.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. Yeah, these guys getting ready to do a little pit party, so we're going to watch this and kind of get a feel maybe for how this race is going to go. Keep an eye on the inside row number 4, the 21, Marquis Smith. He's the gentleman that Terry was just talking to. And funny enough, just ahead of him, the 86, Terry Foster.
Chris, it's good that these guys are going out there. They're doing a pit party. Just, instead of just trying to race around each other, this is a good way to find out how these cars are going to handle come race time. I mean, I know the track temperatures might change a little bit. Actually, it's jumped up to 101 degrees so far, so getting a little warm there under the sun. This is going to be interesting to see how this kind of plays out.
And I think this is good for them to do. The more times they can kind of put themselves in a pack and learn this track and the pack racing that goes with it, the better off they're going to be. And look at that, Marquis Smith doing a good job. 3 wide out right behind him. 5 goes down underneath.
And Marquis did good, but Adrian Pedra there had a little bit of problems. So did Nick Okie. Got a little loose there. So, that kind of bunched the field. That's something that these guys got to worry about. Now, I know there's a lot of drivers out there that I want to watch tonight, Chris, but there's one driver that I'm watching in particular. That's the 41, Dalton Kilrow. He's already won here a couple times this season, but tonight he's running his VR.
Oh, yes, that's right. First time in VR for Dalton Kilrow.
I'm sure he's practiced.
Well, I know he's practiced, but first race in Blazing Pebbles. We'll go that far. And that is an experience to go from monitor to VR, Rick. That's a huge change.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you learned that there last night. There, you and I had a chance to run with the Racing for a Cause boys for a little fun Saturday night. A couple races there, and your Quest had a little issue, and you had to go back to single monitor, so that had to kill you a little bit.
It did, and then I got it working, and all was good. But man, yeah, it was single monitor when I've got 3 sitting here on my desk was killing me. I'd say this pit party was working out pretty decently for the most part. These guys seem to have it pretty much figured out. This track is slippery. You see Marquis get a little loose. He brings it down onto the apron. The 92 out there. Blake Decker. Here's the other thing that's going to be interesting tonight, Rick. We do that 10-minute open qualifying. That's going to be something to watch here.
Especially at Bristol. I mean, I know it's worked out for a lot of the tracks that we've gone to already this season, Chris, but Bristol, it's going to be a little bit more, it's going to be crowded out there. The guys going to just have to try to run the best laps that they possibly can during that. And, well, pray to the gods that they start in a good position now. You know, Bristol, it's kind of hard because at Bristol, I like to either start in the front or I like to start in the back. That's where I like to start. That way I can kind of control what's going on. That mid-pack, man, that's where things get a little squirrely.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, scoring and timing is messed up on me. Give me a second. All right, we are back out there watching the 76 of Rick Thompson.
Right now, a couple drivers have taken their first lap. Chris, right now, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin and the number 10 machine has the pole with a 23.0. Whoa, that just got knocked off by Dalton Kilroy with a 15.0. Now the Butcher takes it back over with a 15.003.
Oh, look at the cars that are out there. Oh, we got some. And this is what I was thinking about here. Look at this. They're just piling in. Piling in. So important when you have an accident to lock your brake. That's number one. And if you're in the middle of the track, you have to be on that tow button, Rick. You got to get off the track, especially in a small track like this. It's really tough to do, though. Way easier said than done. And we just saw it there during qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, with all these cars going around the track, Chris, I mean, you're absolutely right. Lock up those brakes. You've got to be right on that button as fast as you possibly can. Some guys use the escape key on their keyboard. A lot of guys have button boxes or buttons on their wheels that they map to that, but you got to really be on it. And that's one thing that, you know, I'm kind of not really worried for Dalton because, you know, he's a good racer, but being new in VR, I mean, you lose all your visuals. So you got to kind of learn, you know, where your buttons are mapped and everything on your steering wheel. If you have a button box, you got to, you know, do it all by feel. But that's one thing that's hard about open qualifying here, especially at Bristol. I mean, the banking is so high. You just got to kind of lock it up and your car's still going to slide a little bit.
A little over 2 minutes have passed so far in qualifying. The guy on the top, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, Marquis Smith right behind him with Corey Sherman in third spot, Jason Powell fourth, and Hayden Wheeler in fifth spot. And that pretty much changes lap for lap here as they are figuring out a way to get around these. Look at that top time of 14.973 out of Dakota Todd. Dakota was the fast guy here during the practice and warm-up sessions, and man, he has gotten this track figured out. Dakota Todd in the 63, maybe one to watch here tonight.
It's good to see him back out on track, Chris, and having a good start here tonight at Bristol. We'll see how, I mean, this is open qualifying. The race is going to be totally different. I mean, those guys are really going to have to calm down, figure things out. You know that we're going to be seeing some cages being rattled tonight, and you know those short track tempers, they're going to flare. I mean, you can't have Bristol without at least a temper that flares a little bit.
No. No, you cannot. Plenty of drivers haven't stepped foot out onto the track yet. Jeff Price, Ryan McRae, Noah Van Hoot, Brian Dees, Kyle Wellman, Jamie Walker, Aaron Bockover, Corey Rutherford all have yet to take a lap here under this qualifying time.
And again, I think that goes back a little bit to what I was saying earlier. You know, if you know you qualify well here and get up towards the top, you know, like the top 5, 6 guys, they're kind of in that safe zone from 7 on the way back. Got to worry about it a little bit because guys are going to be trying to get a little aggressive. They want to make moves and try to get up towards the front where they want to be, especially with the stage points coming into play, Chris. I mean, only the top 10 get those bonus points, and we know long season bonus points matter. But, you know, for me personally, I'd be starting back in the rear, kind of doing what, you know, Jamie Walker, we see it a couple of times this season. That's what he does. He likes to work his way up through. I think he's going to be a fun one to watch here tonight if that's what he's doing, because we know he won't be back there long.
How about that Terry Foster out there, 17th quickest so far in his number 86. Jump right into that car. I hit the gyro cam so you can see the banking on this track. It is pretty steep for such a small track. Ian Habiuk out on track. This TRJ Karting.com Toyota.
It's going to be interesting to see how the teammates of TRJ Karting actually start running together, Chris, too. I mean, you know, this is something that's new that's happened. Of course, Ian Habiuk picked up a new race partner out of Jamie Walker in the 88 machine. Both of those cars looking fabulous out there tonight. I mean, Ian Habiuk sitting in 16th position right now during qualifying. And of course, Walker has not taken his qualifying lap yet.
Well, definitely. It's a little like Daytona, isn't it? You have two schools of thought here. You start up front and try and be safe, or you can start in the rear and hope you miss it all.
I mean, starting in the rear, Daytona is a little bit better than Bristol because, I mean, like we've been saying, you know, Dakota Todd still has that fast time, 14.973 seconds around. So, I mean, you're going around this track pretty quick. If something happens in the middle, you really got to be listening to your spotter, watching the flags, see if the caution comes out, and really get on the brakes and start, you know, taking care of damage control at that point and avoidance, and avoid that wreck so that way you don't mess up your car. Personally, I wouldn't mind starting in the back. I mean, as long as you can hang back a little bit. Long race. Long race here tonight.
Now, the other thing that's tricky here, too, and we haven't talked about it yet, though, pit road. Pit road can be extremely tricky here. You get driving, and it happens where you just don't even really know where you are on track. You know, you could be on the front stretch, you could be on the back stretch. You're not really sure. You're looking for the flag stand, but it goes by so fast. You're not positive. So watch out for mistakes on pit road as well.
Yeah, I mean, a majority of them there are on the front stretch, Chris, but there are a few on the back stretch, so you really got to know where you're going to be pitting. And you're absolutely right. I mean, that is the tricky part. There is a handful of pits on the back stretch right there that we saw as guys are going around. So, I mean, it is very easy here, too, to lose track of what corner you're going into.
Ooh, 16 takes a shot, goes into the wall. Heavy damage on them. He's going to tow and get a new car, come back out.
I mean, honestly speaking, too, Chris, if you really think about it, Ian has a little bit of an advantage, and any other guy that has a live spotter out there tonight is going to help with getting onto pit road as you need to.
Yeah, of course, you're talking about Tim Habiuk, and I actually got a chance, was it last weekend, I think it was, where I dialed up Tim, said, hey, man, I'm going to be racing at Daytona. Would you mind spotting for me? And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he does a great job at it. I mean, he does it in real life, so he doesn't mind doing it here for us here and for his son, Ian. I mean, it is huge. I mean, like you asked me, I mean, I was dead tired that night, and I would have loved to, because it really does. It helps a lot, especially in Daytona. It's going to help a lot here, too, at Bristol. I mean, I think we're going to have a chance to go into that live spotting channel tonight.
Oh, I think so. Want to thank everybody for coming on out on a Sunday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're going to be watching the TRJKarting.com Blazing Pedals K&N Series live right here on Turn 3 Racing Network, getting set to finish up with qualifying here in about 10 seconds. Dakota Todd, the man with a hot shoe here after qualifying, and man, oh man, what a lap time he put down. A 14.906 was the last lap that counted. And that is a very, very strong lap here at Bristol. As qualifying coming to an end, going to get ready to grid them up here pretty quick. And we're going to get ready to kick off the grid here. Qualifying on road number 1 tonight, it's the number 63 of Dakota Todd, who's outside the 10 of Taylor the Butcher Benjamin. Starting inside road number 2, going to be the 21 of Marquis Smith, who is outside the 4 of Hayden Wheeler. Corey Sherman going to start in the inside road number 3 in his 3. 2 is outside. It's the 18 of Jason Powell. Inside row number 4, the 6 of Derek Paulson, and 2 is outside, the 41 of Dalton Kilroe. Row number 5 going to be the 33 of John Perkins with the 86 of Terry Foster. Right to his outside. Adrian Pedra going to pick up inside row number 6, and 2 is outside, the 104 of Christopher Tate. And Rick starting on the inside of row number 7, it's going to be the 88 of Jamie Walker. To his outside, it's Brian Dees.
Row number 8 is going to consist of the 92 of Blake Becker. Next to him, Big Daddy Brian McCray in the 35. Row number 9 is going to be the 76 of Rick Thompson. And on his outside, the 42, Kyle Wellman. Row number 10 is going to be the 85, Travis McChesney, and the 2 of Jacob Kofi. Ian Habia qualified the 16 on row number 11. Next to him, the 40, Deshaun Gorham. Nick Okie in the 9 going to start out in row number 12 with the number 1 of Ty Morosco. Inside row number 13, Chris, is going to be the 5 of Hank Tassin and the 13 of David Bennett. Row number 14, 22 of Brad Collins and the 11 of Patrick Aberson. Brad Thompson qualified the 46 in row number 15. Next to him, TNA Motorsports driver, the 44, Aaron Backover. Jeff Price in the 14 going to be starting in row number 16 along with the 01 of Noah Van Hoo. Row 17 is going to be rounding out the field, Chris, and that's going to be the 55 of Corey Rutherford.
Big field, getting ready to go.
33 drivers. What an awesome field here for Bristol tonight.
Yeah.
Of course, race control giving these guys one more chance to just take a deep breath, get ready. I think we're going to have a good race here tonight in Bristol, Chris. That track temperature sitting at 102 degrees. Air temperature will be steady at 80 with a wind speed of about 2 to 3 miles per hour out of the north. 300 laps, 155 miles tonight here from Bristol.
Pace car is getting ready to come off the field. We're getting ready to go live here for the first time tonight. 300 laps of action coming at you from Bristol. Pace car is off, and Dakota Todd gets them going under green flag conditions.
Todd and the Butcher really get going on that start of the race there, Chris. They fall in nose to tail. Here comes the 4 of Hayden Wheeler to follow him around. Marquis Smith starting to fall back just a little bit there on the inside as Corey Sherman gets around him on the 3.
That outside lane a little bit quicker. Usually during the first part of the race, the inside lane should come in later on. So all those drivers trying to push to themselves out to the outside lane And Marquis Smith did settle into 5th spot. Corey Sherman ahead of him, putting some pressure on Hayden Wheeler in the 4 car. But up front, it is Dakota Todd and Taylor the Butcher Benjamin.
I'm back here just a little ways here, Chris. Looking at Jason Powell in the 18. He's getting some pressure by the 41 of Don Kilroe. Don Kilroe is able to make that pass, goes into 6th position. John Perkins in the throw. Oh, we got cars going around.
And we got our first big one here in Bristol. And there's a lot of damaged cars out there already. A 35, Brian McRae was involved with that. Hank Caston involved with that. Well, let's go back and take a peek. Not sure where it started, so we're going to stick with Hank Caston and go from there.
Yeah, I saw he got turned up into the wall there pretty hard.
Oh, Terry Foster slow on the wall, but everybody able to get around him.
Happened in front of him, too. Like the 42 of Wellman.
I may have backed up a little too far. Oh, the 92 and the 104. Wow. Blake Decker involved with that one. Well, okay.
A lot of cars.
Yeah, a lot of them. Let's go on back and see if we can't listen in.
So that's one cause caution.
Yep. Jesus, what are they doing? It's like...
Did Terry make it through and Brian? Oh, I have no idea.
Brian ran into it.
Brian McRae ran into it. I don't know. I think he's asking about D.
Yeah, we kind of missed what they had to say over it there at race control, but here we are.
That's going to be hard tonight. I mean, we're going to have to really get right on over to race control because, I mean, they're looking at it so much faster than we are. I mean, there was a lot of cars there, so it looked like, though, it started with the 104 and just kind of escalated from there.
Yeah, I think so, too. 104, Christopher Tate. So one caution in the books. Pace car lights are off. Getting ready to go back to green flag conditions here in Bristol. Cole Johnson, Crystal. Good to see you out there, Skittles. Pace car is off. Getting ready to go back to the green flag. Dakota Todd decided to take the up lane. And we are back under the green flag. Your race leader, Dakota Todd, chooses the top lane, and it is working out for him so far. He starts the gap. Here comes Corey Sherman on the outside to take over second spot from the Butcher.
Terry Foster doing a good job, Chris. They're a little slow. Get down on the apron, let these guys go through, do his thing, but man, feeling bad for Terry right now. Doing a good job there with that restart. Sherman, like you said, moving up to second. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin down to third. Hayden Wheeler in fourth. Colin Kilroe rounding out that top five. Marquis Smith hanging on strong in that sixth position. John Perkins in that 33 and seventh. Rick Thompson in eighth. Jamie Walker worked his way up, sitting in ninth position right now. Oh, caution.
Caution on the field. And I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine here, Bristol. It looks like Wellman goes around. So we'll go back one more time, take a peek closer in on that one. Bowman had a little bit of damage from the first one. This one may have been enough to finish him off.
I think I saw him up on the wall there, just scraping the outside wall.
Yeah, he gets up into the wall, tries to hold it in, and then comes off the corner, which is the worst thing he can do. Brian Dees gets into him, and around he goes. And that one could have been a lot worse than it was. As we're under caution number 2 here tonight, we'll check in with race control.
I mean, he just jerked it off right. Well, he might have saved it. He just jerks it off right in the corner. No care.
Come on, guys, catch up to
Knowing
the
people
field.
are right behind him, just jerks the fucking thing to the left. We've warned him about that, so I'll give it to him.
All right, guys, that one was the 42 getting into the outside wall, pulls it off the wall, gets loose, and goes around. It's going to be on the 42 EOL and first strike.
So there you go. 42 gets the call, first strike. And basically what that means is we're under caution number 2. Remember, we have a 5 caution limit here tonight before these guys have to restart in single file. Nobody wants that. So these guys having a little bit of trouble getting this thing started off here. We're working lap 16 of 300. Dakota Todd has led them all so far.
I mean, Bristol's going to be tough, Chris. I mean, it is a fast track. It's small. Banks are high. As you saw, you can't really go up on that outside. You can't tap that wall because it's really going to upset the car. The same thing if you go down and you're on the inside lane. You got to be really cautious of where the apron is, because if you get on that, it really upsets the car.
Yeah, the apron is not your friend here at Bristol. Aerial coverage tonight provided by TRJKarting.com. TRJKarting.com is your #1 online source for karting components, engines, and safety gear. They have a huge selection from the novice to the professional and a dedicated section for sim racers. No matter how you do it, your desire and passion to go fast fuels them. Their focus is to put their customers into victory lane. Make sure to check them out at TRJKarting.com and give them a like on Facebook. All right, getting ready to go back under the green flag. Lights are off, Rick. And Dakota Todd again chooses that top lane to try and kick this one off again. Why not? That top lane very strong early on here at Bristol. Pace car drops off. Getting ready to go back under the green flag. Dakota Todd pacing the field. We are back under the green flag.
And Todd's definitely smart using that outside lane, Chris. We know how fast it is. We see Corey Sherman there kind of almost had a little bit of a jump on him, but moves in behind him, hangs on to second place. Here comes Hayden Wheeler working that. And of course, Marquis Smith following along with Hayden Wheeler on that outside lane. You see Taylor the Butcher Benjamin kind of stuck out there on the inside lane, falling back a little bit. Now he's finally able to creep up and behind Dalton Kilrow. Oh, we got cars going around again.
Oh boy.
I think Ty Morosco was involved in that one, Chris.
It's a big one. A lot of cars damaged once again. We're going to go back and take a peek. Tom Morosco behind the 16 of Ian Habiak.
Oh, no, it was Powell in the 18.
Oh, the 18,
Got
yeah.
loose.
Oh, the 18 comes around and Morosco, no place to go, and then they just stack up. We're going to go inside the cockpit of the 35 to watch this one unfold.
You know, the real interesting thing, Chris, while you're doing that, I mean, you know, we talk about how fast these laps go around. The field caught up to that, and everybody had to slam on the brakes.
Just a mess. And this is out of the front windshield of Dakota Todd, your race leader, who was able to get on the brakes and stay out of it. All right, let's go on back over to race control.
3. That's on the 18. Gets into the wall, pulls it off, gets loose, goes around. It's going to be an EOL. First strike.
Coming around the outside, guys.
All right, it's on the 18. And this is caution number 3. We've done 14 laps here under caution of the 24 so far, Rick. Not the start these guys were looking for, and we're just around the corner from single file restarts.
Yeah, and that's going to make it, I mean, that's going to be tough, man. But like you said, you know, only 24 laps in, 14 of those have been running under caution. I'm wondering if the guys maybe didn't hear race control and said, let's get the 5 cautions.
Yeah, yeah. Mark and Sam need a good dose of whatever Tim has.
I think they might need something a little stronger there tonight. I do not want to be in their shoes tonight. No way.
No. All right. Well, we're not even half past for stage 1 yet. But getting ready to go back under the green flag once again. Dakota Todd chooses that top side lane. Corey Sherman had a really good restart last time. Actually was able to stay right with Todd for a moment before falling back into that top lane. So watch out for Sherman. He may have gotten Todd figured out. Pace car drops off, getting ready to go back into the green flag, watching the 63-year race leader on the top lane. Todd hits the gas pedal, and we are back under the green flag. Marquis Smith in that top side, second row, trying to make things happen out there. Good restart out of Marquis Smith. Challenging now for second spot against Corey Sherman. Oh, Sherman gets loose, holds on to it somehow.
Wow.
Right back out on track. The 4 of Hayden Wheeler, the 41 of Don Kilroe goes around. And Corey Sherman is one of the luckiest drivers out there. Don't know how he saved that. Marquis Smith sitting in second spot. A little bit of a gap up to Dakota Todd, your race leader, 0.4 of a second. Now 0.3. Marquis Smith rolling them in. Corey Sherman still not done getting past as Jamie Walker and the Butcher get around him. But Sherman now regroups, finds his lane. John Perkins in the 33 right behind Corey Sherman. And these guys have started to separate now nose to tail just a little bit better than they have previously.
Well, this is what needs to be done, Chris. These guys need to settle down just a little bit, as you know, race control's told them multiple times. Settle down a little bit, do what you got to do. Let's get some green flag runs going. You know, I mean, as you see, like 76 down there working on the inside of Brian D. Now there's a chance there to pass, so he's going to try to work it, but right now that outside lane's still very fast. He might get around here, and it looks like the two of Jacob. Oh, 17 in the wall.
Man, let's a
Losing
few other cars go around.
Yeah. So the two lucky drivers out there so far tonight, Chris. Corey Sherman doing a good job there. I don't know, like you said, how he saved it, man. I mean, it just shows how good of a driver he is, but what that does to a driver is it makes you lose your focus, and it takes a little bit to get it back up. And, you know, so we saw he had to do some work to get where he was. And then, you know, of course, you just saw 17 there. He tapped the wall, but he held it there and let everybody go by. Plenty of racing left to try to get those spots back.
Right now, watching Ian Habiak in his 16, currently just outside of the top 10 in 11th spot. He's got Travis McChesney and Jacob Hope surrounding him. Hopey right up in front of him in the 2 car. McChesney behind him in the 85. Adrian Pedra in the 78 behind McChesney. So far, the 78 machine pretty clean.
Ooh, Corey Sherman and Dalton Kilrow.
Oh no.
I apologize about that too when I was talking about the cars going around there, Chris. I thought that was the 76, but it was actually in Habiak that I was on. And it was just my Camry.
Yeah, let's go back and take a peek and see what happened. Three. Oh, gets into the back bumper of the 41, and they both go around. And again, that could have been much worse. But it does bring out caution number 4. We're going to switch it on over to race control.
Calling them pretty quick.
They're already there.
All right, guys. That one's on the number 3 going into the corner. Gets into the back up to 41, sending him around. 3 EOL first strike. That is also 4th caution caused. One more, and we be going single file.
All right. It's kind of how we saw it, Rick. It's on the 3. Caution number 4 so far here tonight. 19 laps under caution. And Bristol is having its way with these guys. But I got to tell you, one more caution on track that's not part of the stages. And they're going to figure out that single file restart's no fun. They will straighten themselves out.
I mean, especially like a track here at Bristol, Chris, because, you know, you really want to try to do what you have to do, especially if you're on the outside lane. That's a huge chance to, you know, move up to the guys that are stuck on the bottom. But, yeah, one more. That's all going away.
Top 5 breakdown: Dakota Todd, Marquis Smith, Hayden Wheeler, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, and Jamie Walker in the 88 has made his way into the top 5. 6 through 10, John Perkins, Rick Thompson, Jacob Hoppy, Ian Habiak, and Travis McChesney. So top 10 positions have changed around a little bit, Rick. But I'll tell you what hasn't changed. That's Dakota Todd. He's led every single lap here so far.
Yeah, Todd having a great night here. Led 42 so far of the laps. That's all of them. Hasn't really had much competition there. I got a laugh. I just got a message from the crew chief. Comes, Mylanta, Pepto, with a bunch of dots, and Jack, vodka, Fireball. Mr. Habiak's got the whole cocktail going tonight.
Way to go, Tim. Now this time by, pace car light should be shut off, getting ready to go back into the green flag. And they do. Dakota Top chooses that top side lane again. So this will be a real challenge for the 21 of Marquis Smith, Rick, to try and hold on to that spot.
You know, Dakota Todd, he got a really good restart there, Chris. But Marquis Smith, he's got something to prove. He's taken a couple of weeks off, got his head settled in, got things figured out, and he is putting on a heck of a show here tonight, working his way up into that second position. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin is sitting in third, Hayden Wheeler in fourth, John Perkins running out that top five, Jamie Walker there on the inside right now, trying to figure out what he can do.
Well, unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do on the bottom side, Rick.
Not
You got to
right now.
stay there until you find a hole.
And pray that that hole comes quick.
Jamie Walker going backwards, restarted in fifth spot, now back to seventh. His teammate may let him back in. There's just enough room there if Ian backs off just a little bit. We'll see if that happens. Nope. Ooh, the 76 came down a little bit on the 88. The 16 can't let up at all because he's got Adrian Pedro right behind him.
.85 right into the back bumper of the 78. Both cars able to continue on. I think what Pedro was doing, just saying, hey, listen, Walker, get up there. I'm going to help you out, buddy. Don't forget that. Now the teammates are nose to tail.
Speaking of nose to tail, your race leader, Dakota Todd, had a mirror full of 21, but the 21 cuts it down. Marquis Smith may be a little faster than Dakota Todd right now, but he's got to figure out a way around. Todd holding on that upside line, and he is following the 5 car. That's Hank Caston. Hank Caston, the last car on the lead lap, trying to stay there. And right now, acting a little bit as of a pick for your top 2 drivers. The 21 goes down again, looking for a way around.
You know, Hank's in a really, really tough spot there, Chris. I mean, last car on the lead lap, he wants to stay on that lead lap, so he's doing everything he can. He's running his line, which I do not fault him for at all. And his line is that upper line. Now, most guys would say, oh, why doesn't he get out of the way? Well, you don't want to run that bottom line. You know, I would just, you know, let those guys race it out, try to figure out a way around you.
Yeah, there is a time when you don't, you just don't let up. And if you're fighting to stay on the lead lap, Rick, that's exactly what you got to do. You got to fight. And that's what the 5 of Hank Caston is doing. But he's got the leader and second spot right behind him. And Marquis Smith still looking for a way around that 63. And he is looking to the inside quite a bit. They keep doing this, Rick. The inside lane may come in.
That's kind of what I was thinking and hoping for, too.
The 46. That's Fred Thompson going down another lap. Hank Caston doing a great job staying out in front of the race leaders. He really is. Oh, the 21 has a good run. Had to back out of it a little bit. Marquis Smith is coming to play here tonight.
Hey, he's glued to the back bumper there, Dakota Todd, Chris. And like you said, Hank Caston doing a fabulous job. I mean, he's got quite a gap there in between him and Dakota Todd. Here comes the 21 working on the inside, Chris. Oh, so close.
He got bumper to bumper with a 63 and turned down. Just didn't have quite enough to do it. That outside line, aside from being the better lane around here, the quicker lane, it's the one that gives you the momentum. So coming off the corner, it is really tough to slice that wheel to the left and hold speed like Marquis Smith is trying.
I can tell you right now, Chris, these guys' brake pedals are getting a workout tonight.
Oh, the leader goes around. Marquis Smith got a little too much. Dakota Todd goes around and into the inside retaining wall. We're going to go back and take a look at that one. You knew it was going to have to give at some point, Rick. And the 21 had been on the back bumper a couple of times. Just gets a little bit too far to the right and around the 63 goes. Tough break for both drivers, as I believe the 21 is going to end up with an EOL. We'll kick on over to race control and see what they have to say about it.
I thought I lifted enough to get off your corner. That's so bad.
But, I mean, you hold somebody up for fucking 20 laps, that's what's going to happen.
That's, yeah, I mean, he was fucking on him for a hot minute, man. I would just let him go at that point. It's like, fuck, you want it, man? Take it.
And he's, if you see what he's doing, he's kind of entering middle.
42 tells you that passing.
And then holding kind of middle, high-ish. The Marquis was smarter. He could have, with the way he's cutting it down, he could have stayed high and he could have got around him. But that's still on Marquis.
Oh yeah,
coming around.
He knows it. He's apologizing.
Oh, did you single foul it?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call it out.
There's my first F-bomb.
All right,
yours.
gentlemen. That one was on the number 21. Got into the back of him, turned him. Who was that? 63? Gonna be a 63.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an EOL first strike and single file cautions from here on out.
All right, so tough break. And, you know, they said it. He was being held up. He was truly being held up. He was the faster of the two drivers. It's a tough call. It's a very tough call, Rick, because on one spot you can say, okay, the guy's blocking. And it's short track racing and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, there's only one guy to blame for the pedal, and that's the guy with the foot.
Yeah, you're absolutely. I mean, that was a tough position to be in, Chris. I mean, like you said, Marquis Smith, very, very fast. There's a couple things that he might have been able to do. You know, I mean, some people might say, you know, ride around, try to, you know, freak him out a little bit, try to get Todd to make a mistake. But when he wants to go, he wants to go. And like you said, you know, he just made that decision, just stay in the gas and see what happens. And, well, we saw what happened. Now these guys are going to be starting single file restarts now.
Stage one almost complete. We're working lap number 68 after the longest green flag run we've had. And we have a new race leader.
Yeah, the Butcher takes over the lead.
So single file restart number one. Pace car is off, and the Butcher hits that go pedal. We are back under the green flag here from Bristol. I want to go ahead and thank everybody for coming out to the Turn 3 Racing Network here on a Sunday night. You're watching the Blazing Pedals K&N Series, brought to you by TRJKarting.com. Make sure to check them out on TRJKarting.com and give them a like on Facebook. Stage one right around the corner as we're working lap number 72. Remember, it's going to be the end of lap number 75, the beginning of lap 76 before the caution flag drops for the stage. And the Butcher looking strong to try and take this one. Hayden Wheeler right on the back door, though.
The pit should be closed now, Chris, as I get ready. It looks like the 10 going to take over stage number 1. Hayden Wheeler tries a little maneuver there coming out of turn 4, going on the inside, Chris, but no.
Yeah, not there.
No, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, stage 1 winner.
Guys, we're going to step away for just a moment, let some pit stops happen, and we'll be right back. Back live once again from Bristol. Stage 1 winner, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin. But Rick, we've got a new leader now.
Yeah, we do.
Ian
That'd be the
Habiak
number
in 16. Yeah. Oh, Van Hoot right behind him in the 01. Good to see those drivers up front. Ian, the only driver, Rick, who has not taken a pit stop yet. So doing it on those old tires.
You know, the thing that he has going for him right now, Chris, is single file restarts. So, you know, nobody can make a pass onto the inside until they cross the start finish line. And as we see the pace car goes down, Chris, Ian Habiak takes right off. Wastes no time hitting that go pedal. What a great restart there. It didn't squeal the tires, spin the tires, or anything.
Ian Habiak like a rocket ship right now. My goodness. 0.7 of a second lead, now down to 6, but still he is out there.
Taylor the Butcher Benjamin working that inside lane, Chris. He came down for service. I wasn't sure if he took tires or not, but trying to make that, you know, rubber in that inside lane just a little bit. We're starting to see guys start to go down there on purpose now. Of course, he loses a couple of positions there as the 4 gets around him. And of course, from indeed also Adrian Pedra. Pedra moves up into the top 5, sitting in 4th right now.
Van Hoot off speed and down on the bottom. He's going to pay by losing a couple of positions. Noah Van Hoot back to fifth.
Good.
Yeah, Ian Habiak right now a 0.65 second lead over Hayden Wheeler in the 4 car. Remember, right before that stage end, Hayden Wheeler was right on the back bumper of the Butcher trying to figure out a way to get around him to win that stage. Couldn't quite get there.
Ooh, that happened right
Oh,
in
the
front of
9
Ian.
and the 1. Oh, we are under caution. We're going to go back and take a peek. Nick Okie went for a ride. I didn't see what started it. Oh, the
See, Hank
55.
Yeah, Hank Caston got up into the wall right in front of Ty Morosco. That took out Morosco, and then Okie.
Yeah, two
Wow.
separate things happening there. As we are under caution one more time here from Bristol, we're going to kick it on over to race control.
He disappears for me.
Hate to rush you guys, but I do have to pee at some point this
Ty
tonight.
gets in the back of Hank. Hank's in.
Everybody slams on the brakes and
Brian, you can go around.
I was looking to see what happened to Derek.
I was trying to give you the top lane.
Pace car free.
He disappears for me.
Hate to rush you guys, but I do have to pee at some point this
Ty
tonight.
gets in the back of Hank. Hank's in the wall and Ty just runs him over.
Hey, I'm just all on you. I can't see it. They disappear for me completely.
That's what I'm seeing. Hank's up into the wall, 5's up into the wall, Ty gets in the back and spins him out. Hank was doing what he was supposed to do, Ty just runs him over. Did you get single file?
Nope.
All right, guys, that one was between the 1 and the 5. 5 gets into the outside wall, holds it up there, and as they come off the corner, the 1 gets into the back of them, sending him around. It's going to be on the 1 EOL first strike.
All right, called on Ty Morosco. 1 gets the EOL and first strike. We did have some cloud coverage a little bit ago, Rick, but it is all gone. Sun's back out here in Bristol.
Yeah, the track got down to 94 degrees, Chris. Right now it's back up to 98 degrees. The sun is out once again, like you said.
So race leader Ian Habiak still out front. Pace car lights are shutting off. Rick, what do you say we go down and listen in?
Right on.
All right, your call. Got them all sleeping on the last one. I'll let you know when the pace car is clear. Clear. They're all around. Three back. Three back, look at the outside, likes the outside lane.
See if we can get a little better roll on the entry. 2 back on the high side. Just find your groove, turn some laps. '55 to the next stage break. In the car behind, in the wall behind you. 6 back. 7 back, likes the high side. 7 back, likes the high side. Clear all around. Clear all around. 7 back. Seven back. Clear all around.
So things are a little bit easier when you're up front for your spotter. He just has to worry about what's coming up from behind. And right now, what's coming up from behind is the 78 of Adrian Pedra. Pedra has worked his way through this race and still maintains a pretty clean car. That 78 looking good out there. Started in 11th spot tonight, did Pedra, as we're under caution. And it looks like it was Dakota Todd. Let's go back and take a peek. So Dakota working the inside lane. Oh, it happened in front of him. And then he and Wellman get together. Go back and take a peek again here. There's McChesney and Wellman in the 42. All right, let's go over to listen in on race control one more time.
Looks like Blake, his car is angled off the wall before they ever make contact, and he goes left. And it looks like McChesney comes up and leaves that lane, but Blake comes down. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm reviewing it some more.
Get back in the blimp. Lucky dog coming on.
Your chopper.
Yeah, if I go to the blimp, I can see plenty of day Blake come down off the wall. McChesney's coming up, but he's got to, and he still leaves the lane. And it looks like Blake just comes down off the wall.
Black flag for passing under yellow.
Watch it from the blimp and see if you can see it.
I'm watching it from the chopper. I mean, that's a tough one, honestly.
Watch it from the blimp.
I am watching it from the blimp.
Yeah, I can clearly see. My Blake's car turns left to me. Looks like Blake got a little loose up toward the wall, maybe, or was afraid of hitting the wall and had a lot of wheel in it and just came up off the wall. That's what it looks like. That's who I would give it to.
I don't know. I don't know who to give it to. I'm struck, honestly. That one's tough. So I'll let you do it. 'Cause I can't make a call on it. Because McChesney's not clear, but at the same time, Blake is at a weird angle. I'd put it on both, but we got to figure it out.
I don't know. I wouldn't put that on both. I'd say 92.
Does anybody have another one to idle at? 2,000. Thank you.
You want me to tell them?
Yeah. If I can't make a call, I'm not gonna call it.
All right, that's between the 92 and 85. 85 came up the corner.
All right, so that one's going to be on the 92, getting into McChesney. And you can hear the confusion even happening up in the booth as the pace car drops down, getting ready to go back under the green flag. Ian Habiuk, still your race leader. Adrian Peter right behind him. The 4 of Hayden Wheeler in third spot. A good start again for Ian Habiuk out front. Had a little bump from Pedra, may have helped him out. And Pedra with a good run through turns 2 and out onto the backstretch. Excuse me. Pedra now trying to get to the back bumper of the 16. Pedra may be a little bit quicker at this stage of the race. Nonetheless, Ian Habiuk holding on to that race lead. Pedra now just getting to the back bumper. Lap 109 of 300. Rick Thompson doing a good job out there in the 76, holding on to 4th spot. Dolan Kilrose worked his way back up into the 5th. Brian D 6. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, stage 1 winner, is running in 7th spot right now. Blake Decker sitting in 8th position. The 3 of Corey Sherman in 9th. Jeff Price rounding out your top 10 in this 14 car. Ian Habiuk under the gun just a little bit now from Adrian Pedra. Pedra has been strong on this restart, hasn't given up much at all, and he is bringing Hayden Wheeler with him. Pedra looking down just a little bit to the inside. In the 16, cuts him off and holds his line. Ian Habiuk trying to lead a bunch of laps here, and so far so good for him. He's led 34 laps so far, second only to Dakota Todd, who led the first 62 laps. Had 4 different race leaders so far in this race. Todd still has the most. Ooh, man, Brian Dees came off that corner loose. He's looking the inside, the 41, trying to defend. Dakota Todd, excuse me, Brian Dees in the 17, working the inside, and it's starting to work. The 17 is making that inside lane work. Brian Dees stuck on that inside lane, now starting to go backwards just a little bit. He's got to be cautious of the 46 ahead of him. 46, a slower machine, now gets the pick, and Dees has to go up to the top side to get around. Oh my goodness. Brian Dees was making that inside lane work. Slower car woed him up just a little bit. 3 wide here in Bristol, and the 46 goes around, and they stack him up. Oh boy, do they stack him up. Marquis Smith involved with that one, along with the 46, the 22, the 11, and the list goes on and on. We're going to go back and take a peek. Right here, you knew it was going to be bad because they went 3 wide. Corey Sherman to the outside wall, the 46 and the 21 tangle, the 33 involved, 22, 14. Latecomer, I believe that's the 11, and the 35 of Brian McRae involved in another one not of his doing. The 40 machine sitting down there as well. So another big crash here at Bristol, bringing out the caution. We're going to go over and listen in again.
We'll see if
right front turn
learned anything right here when he gets this one. Huh?
Coming around back.
We'll see if he's learned anything when he gets this one.
What's my back bumper look like? Late side's left up a little bit.
Did you watch the...
Yeah, I watched it.
Dogs coming on.
Oh my god, and everybody just piling the fuck in. Brian.
All right, guys, there was a lot that went on there. First thing that happened, 88 pushes up into the 3, gets him into the wall. What brings out the yellow is the 21 getting into the back of the 46. That's going to be a black flag pass through, second strike.
Who in the...
All right. So here we are under caution one more time. Bristol is definitely having their way. Right now, Marquis Smith in the 21 being scored. The last car on the lead lap ahead of your race leader, Ian Habiak in the 16. Marquis is going to have to go around. So Ian Habiak, again, you're still your race leader, doing a great job out there. His teammate, Jamie Walker, you heard his number being called. He got into the 3 a little bit. The 3 ended up into the wall. But that did not bring out the caution. It was everything else. Working caution number 9. Remember, one of those was for a stage. So we've had 8 incidents here tonight at Bristol, and this one's starting to become a race of attrition.
That back, it looks like I missed a little bit of action there, Chris. Sorry about that, but I just got a word now from Tim Habiak. Now the Jim Crown and Gin and Juice is out.
Oh boy. Well, speaking of being out, the pace car lights are out, and we're going to get ready to go back under the green flag here. Ian Habiak, your race leader. And Ian doing a good job up front. He's led 44 laps so far, second only to Dakota Todd, who led the first 62. Ryan, good to see you out there, bud. Wish you were out on track, although you're probably better off not to be tonight. Pace car's down, and Ian hits that go pedal, and away we are under green flag one more time. Adrian Pedro with a strong run off from the corner. Put the challenge on. Can't quite get there. Ian Habiak holds on to the lead. Ian with a good run of himself off from turn 4.
And Pedro really started coming up there, Chris, and that had to be hard for him there. He had to back off, way off.
A battle right now for 4th spot. Rick Thompson has it on the outside lane. The 41 of Don Kilroe trying to take it, but no. And Brian Dees looks like he's going to take a spot away from the 41. Oh, Dees into the wall. He holds it there. Good job out of Brian Dees. Knew he was in trouble, but stayed into it. And he falls back a little bit, but way better than what could have happened if he would have yanked it left. The 88 looking to try and get around Don Kilroe now on the inside. Inside lane starting to come in just a little bit as the 88 makes it happen at the line, and the 41 now fights back on the outside. Marquis Smith slow on the apron.
Pedro with a little blink there, Chris. That's kind of, I mean, it's scary at any track, but super speedways or Bristol, man, he looks to be settled down a little bit there as he's working around, trying to find a way around Habiak, but so far Habiak doing a really good job.
Yeah, Ian has really stepped up his short track game, and it is showing right now as the kid is on fire. A little bit of a challenge here for 3rd spot. Rick Thompson in the 76 going down on the inside, trying to take it away from the 4 of Hayden Wheeler. That inside lane, Rick, is starting to come in a little bit. It is getting racier out there. And the 76 looking to try and take away 3rd spot from Hayden Wheeler in the 4. At the line, he had it. Good battle here for 3rd spot between Rick Thompson and Hayden Wheeler. And it's good to see a couple of dodges out there.
Yeah, definitely. I'm watching the 88 Jamie Walker trying to work the inside again on Dalton Kilroe, Chris. Right now they're kind of even as they come down through the corner. Right now the 88 has a little bit of lead, but Kilrow fights back, hanging on to 5th position. Big Brad, Brian D's there in the 17, trying to figure out who he's going to go with. Right now, he's staying up top there with Dalton Kilrow. But Jamie Walker not giving up, trying to run that outside or the inside lane. Just doesn't quite have it yet.
Back up front to your race leader. Ian Habiak is defending against Rick Thompson now. Pedro was passed. So Pedro falls back to 3rd. Rick Thompson to the inside. That Dodge is getting it done on the inside here tonight. Oh, door-to-door action here in Bristol as Rick Thompson's trying to take away the lead from Ian Habiak. Habiak with a strong run off from turn 4 to hold the lead, but it was just a matter of inches. Side by side through the corners. Slow cars going to get in the way. Ian Habiak holds on to the race lead. Rick Thompson had no choice. He had to let it go and move up in order to get around the lap down cars. And Ian Habiak using that traffic to hold Rick Thompson off just a little bit.
Did it right at the right time too, as Rick Thompson was trying to go around. Ian saw that his dad was down there on that inside lane, so he didn't give it up at all. Kind of pushed Rick down that way. And Rick got hung up a little bit, but the Speed Mafia number 76 looking mighty strong out there as he tries to look on the inside of Habiak once again, but Ian hanging on strong in his Toyota on that outside lane.
Side by side battles. Oh, Habiak scrapes the wall, and that allows Rick Thompson to go around. Habiak going to try and fight back now, but new race leader Rick Thompson out there. Battle starting to brew for 3rd spot. It's a 3-car battle between Adrian Pedro, Hayden Wheeler, and Jamie Walker. What the heck? Throw Brian Dees in there too. He's right there. Walker goes down to the inside. Jamie Walker going to try and make that inside work. He's working on the 4-car of Hayden Wheeler right now. Oh, a little touch from the 4. And that puts Pedro sideways. And Jamie Walker, just like that, up the 3rd spot.
And man, Chris, just looking at Walker's car here. Ooh, what happened to Ian? I saw sparks flying. Jamie Walker's
big damage to the right front of the 16 machine tire coming off. Everybody trying to scramble around the 16. Right front tire is gone.
Gone.
No caution. Race leader Rick Thompson. Jamie Walker up to 2nd spot. Brian Dees into 3rd. All of this just a handful of laps, Rick, before we fall under caution for stage number 2.
While you're watching the live race, Chris, I got to go back and see, because Ian, it didn't look like he touched the wall or anything. I was kind of watching behind him and I saw sparks fly. I think that tire just let go.
The pace still very quick here. About 0.6 of a second slower on the older tires.
Yeah, that tire just blew on him, Chris. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's one of those things you can't plan for that. Lap 151, caution is out. Stage 2 winner, this man right here, the 76 of Rick Thompson. Stage 2 is in the books.
Only 149 laps left.
And we're going to take a quick moment, step away for just a second here. Guys, we're going to be right back. Back live here after the finish of stage number 2. And look what we got here, Rick. Very interesting. Winner of stage 1 is your race leader. Winner of stage 2, running in second spot, Rick Thompson.
Ooh, we got Tim Habiak in the infield care center.
Oh, let's bring him on up.
Tim Habiak, you got Rick and Chris up in the booth. I see you're in the infield care center. Too much Jack and Coke, or?
Well, checking on my driver. He's a little distraught right now.
that tire blew.
No, it actually his, to go into technical terms, his throughput level fell right in front of Ian. He hit the wall and bounced off, and then he went clear for all the way from the middle of turn 3 to the middle of turn 3 and 4, and it hit empty air, and it knocked the right front suspension off.
Oh, okay.
That's the first time I've seen a car completely disappear, almost a half truck in front of somebody, and still hit him.
Oh, man.
So, hey, it's iRacing, and, I've seen it before, once or twice before, that was pretty bad. I mean, that's like net code gone haywire. So,
because even on my screen, I saw nothing, and it was funny because I was kind of following along with Ian, doing kind of a chase view, and next thing you know, I see sparks flying like you wouldn't believe, and
right,
when I saw Ian's tire just like go away.
It was Ty. Ty was in front of us as a lap car, and looking back at the register, his throughput level fell off, and then he disappeared, and then we were entering the corner. He was just in the middle of the corner, and it was gone. I mean, he wasn't there. He vanished. He vanished 100 feet from him. So he hit air. He hit what should have been Ty, but Ty wasn't there. So
wow.
Yeah, it led 60 laps. Probably our best showing this year. And technical difficulties.
Those things are gonna happen. Hey, listen, I'm sure your driver needs you back out there spotting, buddy. But thanks for coming up here and letting us know.
Yes, sir, guys. You guys have a good night. We're gonna join in the field as soon as we get suspension hung back up on the right front.
How long do you think you got for that?
We should be back out there in about 6, 7, 8 minutes, somewhere there. As soon as I get done this yankling, I'll be good.
There you go, buddy. Well, good luck.
All right, see you.
All right, Tim. Tim Habiuk, live spotter for Ian Habiuk, explaining what went down. And back out on track, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin is your race leader. Brian Dees in the 17, who has just had a fantastic race here tonight. Brian Dees sitting in second spot. Adrian Petras worked his way back up to third as we're under caution. And I don't know. We'll do it the old-fashioned way, I guess. Okay. Not sure. We're going to kick it on over. Maybe they caught it and I didn't. Back over to race control.
The only thing I saw was Paulson was on the apron. Chris,
The only thing I see.
off the surface.
Comes out of the pits.
Derek Paulson?
No. Comes out of the pits. Pulls it left. Now, I don't know if his kid said something or something. I don't know how that would be a caution.
Brought it out.
Yeah, but I mean, he's way off the racing surface. You can't. That's Iverson's ignorance. That's the only thing. I mean, he's all the way against the wall.
See anybody. I watched the blimp. I didn't see nobody.
All right. Well, Rick, I think you're right. I think it was on Derek Paulson somehow, who, as you heard, wasn't even really on track.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I could see. They confirmed it over there on race control, but I don't know.
Sometimes iRacing, sometimes. Well, let's go through the field here. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin started in second spot, his lowest spot tonight, 14th. He is leading the race right now. Brian D started in 14th spot, and he has been strong all night long, sitting in second spot right now. Adrian Pedro started in 11th up to third. Hayden Wheeler started in fourth and is currently running in fourth position. How about this? Blake Decker started in 15th position, right now running in fifth. Dylan Kilroe started in 8th position, running in 6th spot. Rick Thompson started 17th, running in 7th. Hank Caston started way back in 25th position. He's been a part of a couple of them, Rick, but right now being scored in 8th position. Corey Sherman started in 5th. He's fallen back to 9th position, but his lowest, a 25th run. John Perkins rounds out the top 10. Started in 9th, currently being scored in that 10th spot. Back up to your race leader as the pace car lights are off, and we're going to be getting ready to go back under the green flag.
And the good news also, it looks like the 16 back out on track.
Well, that was quicker than expected.
Those boys at trjkarting.com, you know, they've been dealing with the quarantine. Tim was probably like, hey, I want to get some hands on some Harbor Freight tools, and I'll get that thing fixed.
Yes, sir. Here we go. Back under the green flag. Taylor Butcher Benjamin has a huge jump on the field. Brian D is caught sleeping just a little bit. And Adrian Pedra was trying to make him pay. He sneaks back up in line, though. Ahead of Hayden Wheeler in the 4. Blake Decker working his way back up to the front, along with the 41 of Dylan Kilroe. How many times have these guys been nose to tail throughout the years that we've been with these guys, Rick?
I know, right?
130 laps to go. Make it 129 for the Butcher. Up front in his top flight computer. Racing number 10.
Look at Big Bad Brian Dees, Chris. Worked his way back up to second place.
Yeah, Dees is having a fantastic night here tonight. There's no question about it. He's one of those drivers that's been able to make the inside work a little bit, although not right now, and he might be getting challenged by Adrian Pedra after that last move down. Pedra trying to close the gap. It does. Big run off from turn 4 for Adrian Pedra. Loses it a little bit going into 1 and 2, but comes back on the backstretch going through 3 and 4 again. Right now, the 78 puts the challenge on for second spot, and the 78 has it at the line. A nice move out of Pedra to make that one work. He's not done fighting yet. Hayden Wheeler behind almost gets himself into the wall. Oh man, Hayden Wheeler is loose right now. The 92 working the inside. 41 stays up top. Colin Kilrow makes the pass on the 92. The 92 swings back up into that top lane. Top 6 drivers can put a blanket over him. The Butcher, your race leader. Hey, how good of a night Ian Haybiak was having. He led 63 laps. He's led the most laps of anybody here tonight. Unfortunately, right front suspension kind of doing in his number 16.
You know, as Tim said earlier, Chris, not his fault there. The one-time Morosco just lost connection there for, well, it was quite a while because I didn't even see him on my screen. That came right back out and unfortunately ended up being right where Ian was.
Good green flag run so far here to kick us off on to stage number 3, the final stage. And Rick, I don't really have the typical camera to do this with, but we're going to give it a shot.
Oh boy.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching on TV, turn that thing up. If you're watching on your phone, put that up to number 10, and here we go. We're going to turn it up. Got to shut it down. We are under caution, and I believe it was involving the number 10 of the Butcher. We're going to have to go back, Rick, and pick it out. I didn't see it. I just saw some of the action around it. We'll be right. Yeah, let's go back and look at it. Easy for you to say, Rick.
That's right. I know there was a gaggle of cars there.
All right, here we go. Yeah, these guys were racing hard. Very, very hard. There was a lot of 3 wide. Oh, the 4. Hayden Wheeler gets into him. Around Blake Decker goes. Okay, so we saw it. Now we know. Let's go in and listen in on race control.
I mean, it was a good race, and you got to ruin it about something.
It looked like Taylor was going to try and check up, and then
yeah, he checked up because of 22.
He was trying to get out of 3 wide. Yeah,
he did it right. He didn't want to run the 22 over. Checks up, and Hayden runs back.
Between the 4 and the 10, coming off of turn 4. 4 gets into the back of the 10, spinning him around. It's going to be on the 4. EOL first strike. Ow.
All right. So it was on the 4. And we are under caution one more time here. Take away the 2 for the stages, and we hit double digits for 55 laps, 7 different lead changes. Seven different drivers have led this race.
And I mean, we kind of expected. I know I did. I mean, you know, it's Bristol. A lot of cars out on track. Only running that top lane for most of it, so guys are trying to push. Abiuk still holds the most laps led here tonight at 63. Dakota Todd with 62. The Butcher at 48. Rick Thompson 12. Pedra 6. Marky Smith 3. Wheeler 1.
Well, during that turn it up, we definitely saw some really good racing up front. Jeez, top 8 drivers or so are right on top of each other.
Hey, Warren, it looks like we have one driver in the infield care center, Chris.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring them up.
Hi, Morosco. You got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I guess you guys.
Hey, man. Listen, I see you're out of the infield care center. What happened?
I was going down turn 2 and just technical difficulties from the computer or something, and it restarted itself, went black. I just turned up in the wall. I think I talked to my teammate Brian Dees. He said I got into a few people. I'm sorry about that. Nothing I could do. I just try to keep it up in the wall as much as possible. I probably disappeared and all that. It's really crazy. Didn't expect that going down turn 2, especially when the leaders went up behind me. I was like, this is probably not the best thing to happen.
No. I mean, that's exactly what happened with Ian Habiuk there. I mean, it was kind of hard. I mean, I know there's a new tire model and everything. Tires can blow, and I thought that's what happened. But I guess Tim was saying that he saw you on his computer, but I didn't see you on mine at all. And you actually popped back in, so that's just unfortunate for both of you.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything, so the best thing I did was just turn up into the wall, because that's the safest place to coming across the track. So if I was on the low end, I probably would have dove down, maybe hit pit road, but since I was up top, I had no choice but going from the outside wall.
Oh yeah, I mean, you were in a tough position there for sure. Guessing your night's pretty much done for the night?
Yeah, I mean, I could go out there, but I'm not going to even attempt it. I'm not going to try to ruin another race if it happens again.
Oh, so, boy. Guys, hate to cut you off, but Brian Dees just got punted, and around he goes. The 17 goes around, and look at the carnage on the track again.
Oh, boy.
We're going to have to go back and check this one out. Ty, sorry to cut you off, bud, but got to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, it's all right, guys. Hate to see that from my teammate right there.
Yeah, that is tough, buddy. Hey, listen, good luck for next week.
Yep, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Take care, bud.
Got it back now. Brian Dees goes across the line. Oh, scrapes into the wall just a little bit. Then Caston comes into him. No place for Caston to go. Derek Paulson a part of that one as well. So under caution one more time. Terrible luck for Brian Dees. He was running really strong tonight. Let's go over, listen in on admins and see what they see.
Outside. If you look at the way Hank catches him. I mean, everybody else stuffed it in the wall and left it there.
Hey, Adrian, can you tell me how bad the front end on it, front left?
Had he just jerked it off a little bit, but I mean, he went all the way across the track.
All right, guys, that one is going to be on the 17. Gets into the wall and pulls it off in front of the 5. 5 had nowhere to go. 17 EOL, first strike.
Get a bit closer.
All right, just like that. They're calling that one on Brian Dees. Brian Dees going to get the EOL. And we are down to 14 drivers, Rick, on the lead lap.
Yeah, started here tonight with what, 33?
Yep.
2 guys are out, like you said, only 14 on the lead lap, yeah.
Typical race here at Bristol. A lot of beat up machines out there. But our top 5 has changed again. Adrian Pedro, your race leader. Hank Caston in the 5. In second spot. Dalton Kilrow third. Blake Decker. Noah Van Hoot. Going to round out your top 5. Rick Thompson sitting in 6th spot. Jamie Walker 7th. Deshaun Gorham in the 40 car. In 8th. Hayden Wheeler up to 9th. And Brad Collins in the 22, rounding out the top 10. Been a wild ride here tonight at Bristol for sure.
Yeah, for a lot of the drivers, I mean, I don't think a lot of them expected it to be like this, but that's short track.
I know these guys had high hopes of trying to clean it up coming off from that week off for Easter. And I think any other track probably would have helped them out with that. But the last Colosseum, Bristol Motor Speedway, it is a tough, tough track. And it's showing it. Not a lot of cars out there without damage on them, Rick.
No, not at all.
$95 laps to go when we cross the start-finish line and get this thing back under the green flag. Adrian Pedro has control of the field. Hank Caston going to try and stay with him. Good clean restart.
Outstanding restart. You see Pedro just take away. Now Hank Caston got a little pressure from the 41 on the inside right now, kind of side by side, Chris. They come down through the corner. Hank Caston hangs on at the line.
Now 41 was really low.
Ooh. And who?
Oh, Noah torn up. We're going to go back, take a peek. The 01, Noah Van Hoot. Got Rick Thompson behind him, along with Jamie Walker in the 88. Oh, Rick Thompson just comes in. Oh, man.
Ouch.
Oh, man. I don't know who that was. Was that like the 22 maybe? Nope.
The 33 went for a ride. There's a bunch of them.
Brad Collins came in late. And man, oh man. Let's take a look out of the cockpit view. Because this was a hard, hard hit. Boom. All right, back over to race control one more time. These guys getting a workout over there.
Oh, they are, and you actually missed this, so no point in going over there.
Oh, he missed it.
Guys, I don't know what else to do. I mean, we got penalties in place. We've got, now we went to single file.
I believe it was Rick Thompson who got the EOL first strike.
Oh, okay. What we did catch there was a little bit of frustration. You can hear it out of Mark Arthur's mouth. He's like, guys, I don't know what else we have to do here. So certainly some frustration out of race control.
I do have a hard job, Chris. I mean, you and I, we've been there before. We know what it's all about. It wears on you week after week, that's for sure.
It does. It does. It's not an easy thing to do. You're dealing with a bunch of people and different ways of looking at things, and the best you can do is hold tight to your rule package. That's all you really have.
Exactly. I mean, you know, it's tough because there's only so many things that you can do to try to make the racing better. It really comes down to the drivers.
Yeah.
And how they act out there. And I mean, you know, we've seen some great racing out of Blazing Pedals. Right now, they're just kind of in a little bit of a slump.
Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by TRJKarting.com. TRJKarting.com is your #1 online source for karting components, engines, and safety gear. They have a huge selection for the novice to the professional and a section dedicated for sim racers. No matter how you do it, your desire and passion to go fast fuels them. Their focus is to put their customers into victory lane. Make sure to check them out at TRJKarting.com and give them a like on Facebook. As we get ready to go back to the green flag, Adrian Pedra, your race leader, Dalton Kilrow in second, Blake Decker in third, but he is under the gun already. The 88 of Jamie Walker trying to get into the top 3. He does. So Walker, who has been really quiet here tonight, Rick, late into this race, is starting to turn it up just a little bit. 87 laps to go. And Walker finally cracks into the top 3, getting around the 92 of Blake Decker to do it. A battle back for 5th spot between Hayden Wheeler and Deshaun Gorham. Gorham going backwards as the Butcher goes around. Here comes the 3 of Corey Sherman, the 40 slow. Hank Caston goes around.
You know,
Chesney goes around.
I think the 88 car is the cleanest car out there right now.
Not a lot of damage on the race leader either. Pedra is pretty clean. See a little bit of damage to the right front of the 41 machine, but not enough to affect its performance. The 2 winningest drivers here in the league so far this season, the 41 and the 88, battling it out for 2nd spot. Meanwhile, Adrian Pedra starting to take off just a little bit, 0.4 of a second back to 2nd spot. And speaking of 2nd spot, Jamie Walker looking to the inside, trying to take it over from the 41, doesn't have it, knows it, drops back in that top lane to get around the slower traffic. The 46 machine of Fred Thompson, who's just trying to cruise around the track and get this one done with. Meanwhile, the 41 and the 88 starting to close in on Pedro a little bit, got down to 0.3 of a second. So even though they're racing, they're still catching Pedra.
I think Pedra's one mistake away from a couple of guys going right around him, but right now Pedra doing a great job out there out front, Chris. That car is really liking that nice clean air.
Clean air so big out here in any kind of racing, really, but the 78 definitely taking advantage of it as much as he can, and he is losing time. My goodness, the 2nd spot, Dalton Kilrow and Jamie Walker are catching. Van Hoot, that slow car ahead of your race leader. Van Hoot takes it down to the inside, let the leaders by. The 78 goes around, 41 and the 88 make it around, no problems. Hayden Wheeler locked into a battle for fourth spot with Taylor the Butcher Benjamin. The 10 car goes down to the inside looking for a way around the 4. And the Butcher not able to get there this time by. And the 4 comes off the corner a little sideways. Oh, into the wall is the 4 now. And that allows the Butcher to go around. Here comes Hank Caston. Caston breaks into the top 5 again. Hayden Wheeler going backwards a little bit after sliding into the wall. Then Caston has to correct. And Hayden Wheeler fights back into the top 5.
I was going to say, he's not going down yet, Chris. He is still fighting for all that it is worth. And then number 4,
Caston gets into the wall again. Hayden Wheeler gets in contact. Oh, no, the 5.
Wow.
Trying to hold on. He does somehow.
What a great job by all drivers involved there.
Wow. Meanwhile, back up front, the battle for second rages on. The 88 to the inside of the 41. Once again, can't get there. The 41 of Dalton Kilroe just holding his lane. The Turn 3 Racing Network engine underneath the hood of that 41 strong.
Our logo looks pretty good there on the deck lid.
Yes, it does. Top 3 drivers put a blanket over them as they are running almost identical lap times right now. The Butcher sitting in 4th spot wants to try and catch him. Has a long way to go, Rick. Over 2 seconds to try and catch 3rd place, Jamie Walker. Hayden Wheeler in the 4 car has had a little bit of difficulty staying off from the wall. He did get sideways, but then able to get back up there on a miscue from Hank Caston. Terry Foster, slower car, goes around.
Ooh, Adrian Pedra into the wall, Chris.
The 88
Whoa.
trying to make a pass for second and does. The 46 almost in the way. Adrian Pedra, Jamie Walker, Dalton Kilroe, your top 3 now. As Walker is catching the back door of Pedra, but he is doing it at a horrible time, Rick. He's got a lot of slow traffic ahead of him. The 78 dives down underneath the 55. Your race leader looking to try and pick it his way through the slow traffic. And that's going to bunch up your race leaders. Oh, my Lord. Hold on to my heart.
Uh-huh. Anybody need a chair? I got one for sale. I'm not even using it right now.
Pedra doing a great job whittling through the slower traffic. Jamie Walker's following him through. Dalton Kilroe gets stuck behind him. So he's got to get around. Finally gets around D's. Now working the 44 of Aaron Bockover. Patrick A. working that top side. Should allow the 41.
For the lead.
Oh, yeah. Side by side. The 88 and 78 getting it on. Jamie Walker looking for his first lap lead. Jamie Walker to the inside. Adrian Pedra battling hard on the outside lane. The 78 comes off from the corner with the momentum, holds on to the race lead. The 88 has to gather it back up and try again, Rick. That 88 is fast. We've seen him come through the field. He started deep into this one, and he has made his way up into second spot. Now looking to challenge for the lead one more time. Takes a peek, doesn't have it. One more time to the inside is Jamie Walker. Walker to the inside of Adrian Pedra. Pedra trying to hold on at the line. It is. Oh, man, I believe Walker was credited with that lap.
He was.
Jamie Walker trying to extend that lead so he can get to the top lane before the tires go away. The 88 and the 78 locked into a beautiful battle here for the lead, and the 88 makes it clear.
Wow, that was a great battle.
One of the best battles we've seen all night long. The 41 able to clear all the traffic now, just trying to catch the second place runner of Adrian Pedra and your race leader, Jamie Walker. The Butcher sitting in fourth spot all by himself, trying to catch the 41. The 41 got a little high as we are under caution. John Perkins on the call, the 33. We're going to go back and take a peek. Not seeing it. I'm going all around it, I think. All right, we're just going to go over and listen in.
Let me look.
Coming on.
I mean, he's in the pits. Comes out of the pit. I have no idea.
That caution was my fault. They said I was done with my repairs and I came out and couldn't go anywhere.
Now John Perkins taking the blame. Apparently, crew chief said, "Go ahead, repairs are all set," and they made one little mistake. Rick, they forgot some stuff.
Yeah, you know that happens sometimes.
So pit stops are happening. Hank Caston stays out. He's going to take over the race lead. Gonna let this one filter through here. Okay, I think we can be safe to call it. Hank Caston, your race leader. Dalton Kilroe second. Jamie Walker falls to third after that pit stop. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, Adrian Pedra fourth and fifth. Hayden Wheeler the sixth. Rick Thompson in seventh. Asham Gorham in the 40 car in eighth. Corey Sherman in the 3 car ninth. And Aaron Bockover has cracked into the top 10.
Speaking of the top 10, Chris, that's all the cars on the lead lap.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, 15 different cautions so far, Rick. For 70 laps as we get ready to go back under the green flag. Hank Caston, your race leader.
Caston got a really good restart, Chris, where here comes the 41 and the 88 right around him. Elton Kilroe now leading here at Bristol tonight.
And I believe that was and is the first lap for Kilroe to be the leader here tonight. 51 laps to go for Dalton Kilroe. Jamie Walker right on the back bumper. Adrian Pedra looking to try and take over third spot from Hank Caston, doing it on the inside. The 4 car, Hayden Wheeler on the lead lap. He's running in 5th spot. The Butcher taking a peek inside of Hayden Wheeler, and Hayden has had trouble with this early on through the race, Rick. He seems to get a little loose, gets really close to that wall, like he's not comfortable having somebody on his inside. But that time he was okay and manages to motor on by. The Butcher sticks it in 6th spot still.
Yeah, the Butcher had him on the chopping block, but not able to get around and do what he had to do. And now he just kind of fall in. And Hank Caston having some issues there. Almost tapped the wall again. Oh, he's in the wall now. That 5 car not happy right now.
And Hank Caston going backwards. As Rick Thompson able to go around him. Caston finally settles in. Colin Kilroy, your race leader, being followed by Jamie Walker. Before that last caution, Walker had the lead. These two cars have been battling each other all season long, though. Absolutely unbelievable the battles these guys have had. And the 41 and the 88, here we are again at Bristol, doing it again. This is race number 9 of the season, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, it's going, I mean, we have a long ways to go, Chris. We're going to be running with these guys all the way down to November, but the season definitely kicking off.
Adrian Peja sitting in 3rd spot all by himself. Hayden Wheeler behind him. He's got Taylor the Butcher Benjamin still looking for a way to get around. Rick Thompson in the 76, the last car in your screenshot. Race leader getting to the back bumper of slow car, Noah Van Hoop. Van Hoop moves up to the top. The 41 and the 88 worked their way by relatively quickly. These guys running just 3/10 off on their best laps of the race, so the pace is quickening. Track temperatures down to 93 degrees. Cloud coverage has definitely moved in. Caution on the field. And it looks like Fred Thompson and the 6 car of Derek Paulson may have been involved with that one. We're going to go back and take a peek. Oh, the 92. Oh, man, Blake Decker gets into the 46. And then, oh, boy. The 9 car, Nico Kie, also involved with that one. Back over to race control.
Blake was in the middle of the track like that. Told them guys, you come down off that, below that seam, you're gonna wreck.
All right, guys, that was between the 92 and the 46 coming off the corner. 92 gets into the right rear of the 46, sending him around. It's moving on to 92. 2nd strike, black flag.
How did Derek get in it?
2nd strike, black flag on the 92 is the call.
And, you know, the real interesting thing is, Chris, too, I mean, here we are, we're at Bristol. Short track temperatures definitely flaring here tonight. These guys having a tough time here at the last great Colosseum. But next week we head over to Richmond, another short track.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a short track run. Richmond a little bit bigger, Rick. It's a little bit wider, a little bit easier to control. I think they'll have a better run next week. I was expecting a little bit more this week. I was hoping for it. And then I remembered it was Bristol.
I was going to say, I think we all were hoping for it, Chris, but then you sit there and you look and you're like, oh, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Bristol. It is a fun track, but it is tough.
Well, we got the driver of the 92 going to join us here in the booth. Blake Decker. This is Chris and Rick up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, bud.
I like having the interviews, but I don't like them being this way.
No, this is not how we want to do this. And look, it was a rough night for the 92. We've seen it all night long. What the hell is going on out there?
Just people trying to do what the pros do who don't know how to. I feel like an idiot for my wreck. I don't think a lot of people understand how mentally challenging some of these races are, but after a while, especially this track is so fast, so quick, it's really easy to zone out, and that's kind of what I did right there. It just, after a while, it takes a toll.
That's a good point, and one that we kind of talked about earlier on. Rick and I were talking. There's points in this race where you don't even know what corner you're in, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, is trying to keep your focus. In these short tracks, you kind of get listening to that engine, you kind of get used to hearing certain things, and then that's when you let off the gas, and that's when you get on the brake and all this other stuff. All those things definitely do come into play, but a loss of concentration ended up being the end of the night for you, it looks like.
Yeah, it's really easy to lose a rhythm.
Yeah. Well, bud, anybody on the 92 that you need to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my grandfather. He's watching, and I'd like to shout out my girlfriend. It's our anniversary today. So other than that, that's about it. Thanks for interviewing me, guys. I'll see you next week, hopefully in Victory Lane.
Well, happy anniversary to you, Blake, and let's get that ship righted up, bud.
Yes, sir. All
right, buddy. That's the driver of the 92, calling it a night, Blake Decker. Such a shame. He's one of those other drivers, Rick. He's just had a really tough season, pace car, and getting ready to go back under the green flag. Dalton Kilroy, your race leader. Jamie Walker, Adrian Pedra, 2 and 3. A good, clean start out of the 41, and he is a rocket ship right now. That turn 3 Racing Network engine, very, very fast.
Yeah, I mean, going off of what Blake was saying, though, Chris, like, we talked about it. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's so easy for these drivers. I mean, 155 miles, 300 laps going around this thing, you start losing concentration, and anything can happen. And it's just too bad that it happened this late in the race for Mr. Decker.
Dalton Kilroy, Jamie Walker, Adrian Pedra, your top 3, and then it's the 4 car driving that Mopar motor of Hayden Wheeler. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin sitting in 5th spot. Rick Thompson in 6th. Hank Caston in 7th position. 8th place belongs to the 44 of Aaron Bockover, silently having a very good night. And 9th spot, I don't know how he's done it, but the 3 car still on the lead lap in 9th position. And you want to talk about a ping pong? This guy has been all over the track here tonight. Not really of his doing. He just seems to be getting into it. As the 3 drops down to the apron, he's coming down pit road. No, even worse. It looks like he just called it. Something happening.
I was going to say, he just went off my screen.
Well, whenever a driver does that, I hope everything's okay at home. Right now, the 41, Dalton Kilroy out there as the race leader. Jamie Walker being patient, as is the 78 of Adrian Pedra. Pedra seems to have found some speed late into this run. Just 26 laps to go, Rick.
I mean, this is when they really start taking off pretty quick here, Chris. And like you said, Corey Sherman, hopefully everything's okay, bud. Had a good run going, Chris. Like you said, back and forth, ping-ponging through the field. 8th place, but like you said, man, when guys just up and go like that, that's the first thing that we got to think about. I mean, I know that they're here, they're committed to the league, but real life always comes first.
Yeah, not just disconnecting from the service, but also from TeamSpeak. So that's a shame. He had a good run going. He was the last car on the lead lap. Not anymore. Top 8 drivers on the lead lap now. Bockover scored an 8th spot. So Dalton Kilroy, who's now led 32 laps, your race leader. And there's a challenge for 2nd spot. Adrian Pedra to the inside of Jamie Walker. Walker has to battle back on the outside. We've seen him tonight, Rick. He has been on the inside to try and pass a lot of the night, but now able to defend. And Hayden Wheeler takes advantage of that whole situation, gets to the back bumper now of Adrian Pedra, So Pedro, who had a nice clear back bumper before, just blinks and now has a back bumper of the 4, Hayden Wheeler.
Of course, we know Pedro has been having some issues with his computer the last couple of weeks. It's been okay, Chris, but here at Bristol, I've been noticing a little bit of blinking out of the 78 team tonight. But still doing a good job.
Yeah, still battling with Walker for second spot. That's allowing the 41 to get some speed. And which number was that?
We're under caution. I'm trying to find out who it was.
Well, under caution, we'll just go back the old-fashioned way. Oh, it looks like McChesney gets into the 18.
McChesney, yep.
The 18, Jason Powell, goes for a ride off from the nose of the 85 machine. We'll go and listen in one more time.
Chesney,
hey Don, where do you want me again if you catch up?
Just run your line. I don't know if we're leaving faster.
Alright, 10-4.
Get into it.
I don't know, the 18 comes up in McChesney. It was the same deal as the one before.
Yeah.
If you watch the seam, that's 2 on Powell, isn't it? 18.
It is.
It is.
I just got DQ'd and I don't understand why.
There's an incident point limit. That one was between the 18 and the, who else was it?
85.
The 85. 18 comes up and gets into the nose of the 85, spinning him into the wall. It's going to be on the 18. That's second. Strike. Black flag. And yeah, there is an incident point limit. So you hit that point limit, you're DQ'd.
Copy.
All right, so again, a lot of stuff going on there. They keep talking about the seam, Rick, and you can see it on the track. You hit that seam in the wrong spot, you lose control of your car a little bit. Pace car lights are on. 14 laps to go. This is caution number 17 for 79 laps. We've had 11 different lead changes. So the action up front has been pretty strong. Unfortunately, the other action on the track has also been pretty strong.
Very strong.
Back under the green we go. Your race leader, Dalton Kilroe, Jamie Walker in second spot, Adrian Pedro third, Hayden Wheeler, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, your top 5.
With only 9 laps left to go now. Dalton Kilroy doing a good job. Got a nice little lead going on. Adrian Pedro works on the inside of the 88. Hayden Wheeler working that outside. I think Pedro might have been a little sorry that he went down on that inside lane, Chris.
Yeah, that's going to cost him a spot as Hayden Wheeler working the top side, gets around. And now Pedro on the outside looking into that top 3 finishing spots. Don Kilroy, meanwhile, is just using every single bit of horsepower out of that 41 machine to keep motoring on. Gap right now, the biggest we've seen all night, Rick, 0.8 of a second. 7 laps to go for your race leader. Jamie Walker trying to hold on a second. He has got a rear bumper full of Hayden Wheeler, and the 78 is trying to get back there on the inside. Adrian Pedro working the inside of the 4, while the 4 is just beating the rear bumper of Jamie Walker down. Now Hayden Wheeler goes down to the inside. Jamie Walker tries to hold on. Can he do it? 5 laps to go. Dalton Kilroy, your race leader. The gap 1.1 seconds right now. Hayden Wheeler gets around Jamie Walker. Walker tries for the crossover, can't quite get there. Down to the inside. The 4 is in second spot. Adrian Pedro takes a peek to the outside of Jamie Walker. Pedro now trying to get into that top 3. Rick Thompson there right behind the 88 machine, as is Hank Caston. The 88 climbs back up into the top lane, but not before the damage is done. Jamie Walker back to 4th spot.
And Dalton Kilroy just going at it, man. Almost has a 1-second lead on everybody, just trying to get this race done.
Obstacle sticks in the air, Rick. 2 to go. Caution on the field. He almost felt that one coming, and unfortunately, Rick Thompson, Hank Caston. Oh, the 50. Oh, man.
Ouch.
Oh, boy. All right. We're not even going to go back. We're just going to head on over and listen in.
Hayden's quite a bit faster, a 10th. Ain't enough time to catch him now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was right there with Jamie. That's a tough one. It's like looks like 7.6 comes up a bit, but it looks like Hank wiggles a bit, so I don't know. What do you see there?
I'm looking at it right now. That's a racing deal. They're both going for the same. They both move the same amount. Because Rick comes up. He comes up, stops, runs the seam, and that while Hank's still coming down. I mean, they both just going for the same piece of track. It's on both. It's
like Hank gets a little loose and trying to straighten it out. Comes down a little bit, and Rick's coming up. And, yeah.
Racing incident, no penalty?
Yeah, but usually they both get the EOL with no strike.
Yep. All right, guys, that was between the 76 and the 5. From what me and Mark can see, that's going to be a racing incident. 76 comes up as much as the 5 comes down. Both drivers will receive an EOL, and those do not have a strike.
And they're both already in back anyway.
All right, well, there's the call. Again, a long one to kind of sort through, Rick, but I think that one was the right call.
Yeah, I mean, guys just trying to race. It's the end of the race, Chris. They're trying to, get whatever position they possibly can, and unfortunately, 2 cars can't be on the same piece of real estate.
No, it never works. So, we're into overtime. And the top 5 drivers have changed.
Yes, they have. Alan Kilrow still leading this pack. You got Hayden Wheeler in second, Adrian Pedra in third, Jamie Walker fourth. The Butcher rounding out that top five.
Pace car lights are off, getting ready to send these guys back under the green. I want to go ahead and thank everybody for coming out to the Turn 3 Racing Network. You've been watching the Blazing Pedals K&N series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. As we go back under the green flag, Dalton Kilrow with another amazing restart to get this overtime started. Hayden Wheeler in second spot, Adrian Pedra third, Jamie Walker, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, your top five. Top 8 drivers on the lead lap. Oh, Hayden Wheeler gets into the wall, able to save it. We've seen that a couple of times out of Hayden here tonight. And that is how it's going to finish, though. Colin Kilrow, Hayden Wheeler, and Adrian Pedra, your top 3. Jamie Walker finishes in 4th spot. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin rounds out your top 5. Aaron Bockover, Rick Thompson, Hank Caston rounding out the cars on the lead lap as the 41 gets ready to burn the house down. Guys, we're going to step away for just a moment, set up our post-race interviews. We'll be right back. Okay, I don't know why my computer wanted to turn it up one more time, but it did, and I don't know why, because the race is over, but we do have our top 3 finishers ready to go for some post-race interviews. We're going to start off with the driver of the number 78, finishing 3rd place tonight, Adrian Pedra. Adrian, Chris, and Rick up in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4.
Well, bud, a couple weeks ago, make it 3, you were having some serious blinking issues. You did something, you fixed it. You had a little bit of blinking going on tonight, but not that bad, and you ended up finishing in 3rd spot. Take me through your race.
Well, at the start, it was, to say the least, eventful. I got tagged in the back, went to the rear, and drove my way back up through the field. And I don't know how I got past Walker of all people, but I'm really happy with this position 3 finish.
Yeah, you have to be. It was a tough race, so anybody who finishes in the top third definitely earned it. How much sweat you got on your forehead right now?
Surprisingly, not that much. I'm pretty cool right now.
Oh, you're doing pretty good, because even I'm sweating. Who do you got on that 78, bud, that you need to thank tonight?
I got to thank MT2 Esports, Toyota Racing Development, and Not So Famous Racing Driver.
Very good, brother. Congratulations on that third place finish tonight.
10-4, thanks, guys.
All right. Adrian Pedra, driver of the number 78, bringing it home in third spot here tonight. Rick, I believe you caught up with the 4 car of Hayden Wheeler.
I did. Hayden Wheeler, driver of the number 4 machine. You got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I do.
Hey, man, what a heck of a race here. You started tonight in 4th. You fell down to 6th. You worked your way back up through the field and came home 2nd. Tell me about your race.
Well, I knew I had a good car right from the get-go. In practice, I think I was 2nd, and then I qualified 4th, like you just said. And I don't think I dropped below the top 10, except for when I did get the EOL for causing a wreck. I think it was Taylor, Butcher, Benjamin, I spun. So I dropped down to, I think it was 13th, and I'm not 100% sure, but then I made it back up into the top 10 in a matter of laps. So it was a really, really solid race.
Yeah, the Mopar Dodge doing a good job there for you tonight. Anybody on that number 4 you'd like to thank, brother?
Definitely like to thank my teammate, Dalton, team owner, actually, Dalton and Blake. And then Nick Akier for being in the team speak with us. It's nice to have another guy to work with on the track. Definitely like to give a shout out to the Garage Shop. They're actually one of my sponsors. I just don't have a car for them here yet. And you guys as well for putting on an awesome show.
Well, excellent, buddy. Hey, listen, congratulations once again. You ran a heck of a race, man. Bring that momentum next week to Richmond.
Thank you.
All right, that's Hayden Wheeler, driver of the number 4, bringing it home in 2nd spot tonight, and that means we just have one more driver to talk to. And man, we've talked to him a couple of times here, especially this season. He is really touring it up, and I know why, Rick. It's because of what's on that back deck lid. Here we go again. Dalton Kilroe, driver of the 41. Congratulations to you, brother.
Thank you.
You sound like you're having fun.
Yeah, that was, other than that being probably the most stressful 50 laps I've run in a long time, especially at any track. And the fact that it's 80 degrees in my house right now because our AC took a crap before the race. So I have a mix of emotions right now.
Aha, so there's the sweat. I was talking about Adrian with that, saying, hey, he had to have some sweat on his forehead, but it turns out it's you.
Yeah, it must have been dripping off me, hitting him, taking away that grip.
Taking away that grip, yeah. And so the 41, it was kind of an up and down night, right? You were definitely, you were one of the faster cars, but it took you a while to get there. What was going on?
It was more just a lot of me trying to be patient. I know there wasn't really a lot of that from many guys tonight, which I'm sorry you guys had to sit through all that. But I was just trying to be about as patient as I could. I stretched a set of tires through the first few stages, which is something I never, ever do. And then when I got hit by the 3 for that one caution, that kind of set me back a little bit. But I knew it was a long race, and I just had to put my head down and do what I could to get up here to the front.
And to the front you did. You led 59 laps here tonight, Dalton. So it was a good night for you. Who do you got on that 41 that you need to thank?
Well, as per usual, I got to thank Daddy as Barbershop. I know they're shut down right now because of this whole quarantine coronavirus thing. So when they open back up, I can just about guarantee I'm going in there and getting it cut. You guys for the broadcast, Mark and Sam for ripping what's left of their hair out, adminning these races, trjkarting.com, Top Flight PC, Dr. Squatch Racing. I got to thank my teammates, Hayden Wheeler, Blake Decker, Nick Okie. That we tried to do what we could, and I saw Hayden make that dive bomb in the 3. I was like, that's Sly Dog. But I'm just glad we were able to take it home 1-2.
A good night for you guys for sure, bud. Congratulations on winning yet again here on a Sunday night. It's been a good season for you so far.
Yeah, it has. A lot of people are making the meme that lucking in wins, but a win's a win. I'm going to take it.
That's exactly right. Congratulations once again, brother. Have yourself a great night.
Congrats, bro.
You too. Thank you.
Go celebrate. And that is going to do it from Bristol, Rick. After an extremely long race here, it was caution filled. 18 cautions for 90 laps, 11 different lead changes, but the one that mattered the most was towards the end of the race. The 41 took it and never looked back. Dalton Killer, your race leader tonight. Join us next week. We got another short track coming. Should be a little bit better than this one. Richmond coming at you next Sunday night. And that's going to do it from us at Turn 3 Racing Network tonight, Rick. Thank you very much for joining us up in the booth, bud.
No problem, brother. I hope everybody has a great week. And, we'll be back here on air Wednesday night with the Racing for a Cause. And then Sunday night, like you said, heading to Richmond, another short track. But I think you're right, Chris. I think it's going to be a little bit better, and I'm looking forward to it.
And that will do it. Everybody have yourselves a great night. Have a great week. We'll talk to you again soon.